What's up, y'all? We back to oh shit. What's up, y'all? We back today. Usually before I do my intro, when I do my intro, I haven't seen anything yet. I always do the intro, stop recording and watch. But I just watched like the first part, so that's why I'm laughing. But thank y'all again for watching, as always. Thank you again. We're on episode 9 now, so I think we should be getting towards the end. But we got a good episode tonight. We get to watch the aftermath of Jonathan unleashing hell on these boys. And that's what I'm laughing at. But let's go ahead and get into it real quick because I'm ready. I'm ready to talk about it. But as always, thumbs up the video, drop a comment down below, subscribe, share if you haven't already. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. We're slowly but surely moving. We're getting closer. Still got a ways to go, but we're still getting closer. So subscribe if you haven't already and share that thing. Let somebody else come over and subscribe too. But thank y'all again. Let's go. So the reason why I'm laughing is because we literally just watched the aftermath of Jonathan versus Rio. And it's like, I don't even have my phone right here because I didn't really like write anything down or have any notes to really say because I already know it's like so fresh in my brain right now. So Jonathan and Rio on the ground, they tussling and whatnot, and then security's on top of him. Jonathan's laughing the whole time because Jonathan, you can tell he ain't phased. Like, he ain't phased by Rio. He literally just put them paws on him and fucked him up. And it's funny because as they're laying on the ground, you see Rio's plaits on the ground, like they all over the ground. And Jonathan's laughing in his confessionals like, I just fucked you up, so now I'm about to pull your hair out. And he got the hair in his hat. And his confessional is just so funny. But then Jonathan gets up as they separate him from Rio, and then he immediately turns to Milan like, let's go, what's up? Milan's like, no, I ain't trying to fight. I'm not trying to fight. He's in his confessional talking about he ain't trying to fight because his leg is fucked up. His leg is now magically fucked up again. Like, we ain't heard about that leg in almost 2, maybe 3 episodes now. But his leg is so fucked up. And he was sitting there. It's funny, too, because when they were fighting, he's like, oh, man, why y'all over here fighting? Da-da-da. You know that's why you brought that boy here in the first place. The only difference is you didn't expect him to get his ass whooped. And that's exactly what happened. But he ends up saying he don't want to fight, whatnot. And Jonathan's like, yeah, I do want to fight. Jonathan is like me. When it comes to people, when I say he's like me in this instance, I've always said, if you put your hands on me, all bets are off. I'm the type of person, I don't fight fair. Like, if you put your hands on me, it's up. And whatever happens, whatever I do, whatever I feel like doing, you're just gonna have to deal with it. And that's how Jonathan is. Jonathan takes a fire extinguisher and points it in Milan's direction, and Milan books it downstairs. So I need to say it again. Books it downstairs. What happened to that leg? It's like he got these leg issues, but you have no problem moving around the house. Like, you moving around the house fine. He got down them stairs pretty quick. So he got a fire extinguisher in here, outside. Just like, now he's scared. And it's just like, it's so funny to me because it's like he was popping all that shit the whole season. But when Jonathan comes up in here, it's a whole different situation. But Rio, this is where I can respect Rio. Rio wanted to smoke with Jonathan the whole time. He ended up getting up off the floor because Jonathan was pulling at his leg too. And Rio was up trying to fight, trying to get up and whatnot. And then security kind of separates them. Rio's in another room and he's just sitting there just like fake calming down. Ends up trying to get a little spurt where he can really run and try and go find Jonathan to go fight Jonathan and whatnot. So Rio's wanting to smoke because he just got his ass whooped, as most people would whenever they just got their ass beat. But Jonathan's he's not worried about it at this point. Jonathan's going downstairs to the party, and Jonathan's like, I want to go downstairs to the party and be on some normal shit because I don't want nobody knowing I was up here fighting. And that's what we about to see now. But Jonathan, man, I love me some Jonathan. Jonathan's funny. Yo, damn. Jonathan, y'all was not lying. That nigga is crazy. And the type of crazy I want to see on TV. Woo! Okay. So Jonathan comes downstairs and he sees Kerrion first and is basically telling Kerrion, like, I just fought Milan's friend Rio upstairs. And Kerrion's like, what? Like, what? He's like, I didn't even know you was back because they said that you left. Like, you left the house. And Jonathan like, left where? I don't leave nowhere. I'm from Texas. And he goes and tells him that he was up there fighting Rio. And then Kerrion, I guess Kerrion forgot that Rio was even there and didn't even know that he was there. So that was a shock to him. But he ends up telling him, and then one of his dudes, Jonathan's dudes, came up too, and they was just talking about it too. And Rio comes downstairs. Rio is now still on that smoke. He wants Jonathan, so he's looking for Jonathan. Jonathan over there talking with his boys and whatnot. Security's trying to keep Rio away from Jonathan. Jonathan sees that security is now trying to keep him away, which gets Jonathan on alert. Like, okay, here comes this dude. Let's go ahead and fight again. They end up getting close enough to where Rio swung, and it looked like he might have hit Jonathan. So it looked like he might have connected one. But boy, Jonathan is the type of fighter that is just on go. And that's how you're supposed to fight. If somebody gonna hit you, just catch it, eat that punch, catch it, and go. Like, that's literally what he did. Like, I don't know if he actually connected that hit, Rio connected that hit, but if he did, Jonathan didn't feel it, because Jonathan immediately went right after him. And when I tell you that nigga just uppercutted him, went wow, and was cleaning. Ooh, I was like, oh my God. Like, Jonathan was tearing his ass up. Rio flew back, was on the floor, Jonathan uppercutting him and just clocking him in his head. And I was like, damn. And then they ended up separating them again. Rio ends up going outside and he's mad, still ready to fight. Jonathan is just hyped up in the other room. Security's like, calm down. Like, you can tell security, no, Jonathan is not one to play with. He ain't one to play with. These niggas on this show was not ready for him. Like, at all. I wasn't ready for it. This is when I say I want to see some bad boys on the show. Jonathan is that. And when I say that, I mean, like, he just carries himself with just like a bad, tough dude energy. I even tough dude energy. Just like when they say bad, like you bad, you just have that aura. Like, you're confident. You don't care about what's going on. You don't let anybody kind of make you do anything that you don't want to do. And that's Jonathan. And then when it comes to fighting, if you're going to talk shit, you better be able to hit. Like, you better be able to swing. And Jonathan can fight. That's the first person on this entire season that I've seen can fight. So Jonathan goes outside, and Rio is by like this. I don't even know if you want to call it a pine, but maybe it is a pine. He's by this pine, and I don't even know how Jonathan got to him. But all I know is Rio was under the water. I was like, Jonathan is trying to drown this nigga. Like, I was losing my mind. It was so crazy because Rio ends up popping up, and he's ready to fight too. It was just so much going on, and Jonathan is on go. He is on go, and this is crazy. Crazy. Best episode so far this season. Easily. Punk ass Milan, man. Punk ass Milan. So they ended up like trying to calm them down and whatnot. So then as they're trying to do all this, Jonathan points out, Milan is the reason why you here. Milan is the reason why you fighting me. The reason why you just got your ass beat. He was like, you got your ass whooped. Which is true. You got your ass fucked up. Like, beat the fuck up. But where's Milan at? And that's what Jonathan said. Where is your friend at? Rio then realizes, like, I don't know where Milan's at. I don't even know what's going on. Milan is outside, far away from the fight, done called the police. This punk nigga that swore up and down like 5 episodes ago, he from wherever the fuck he said he from, he's so tough, he just that and the third. He calls the cops on Jonathan because he had a fire extinguisher that he didn't extinguish on your ass. But not only that, you so tough and you so about it, and you want people to be scared of you, but you quick to call the cops because your friend just got his ass whooped because of something that you set him up and brought him up over here to do. Like, that's why I can't get down with him. A lot of y'all was in the comments. Well, I ain't gonna say a lot of y'all, but some of y'all have tried to have his back, but I hope you don't have it now because you see exactly what he is. He's a punk. Like, you talk all this big shit, talking about you ain't here for TV and da-da-da-da. Like, you literally are a Hollywood ass nigga. Like, that's stuff that Hollywood people do. People that are only on TV do. They only fight for TV. Fight for TV. And you can tell he knows Jonathan is really with it. Off them cameras, outside in them streets. Rio, I can say Rio is with it in them streets too, because to me, he held his own. Truth be told, he got his ass whooped, but he ain't stopped. He didn't look like he was scared of Jonathan. He still wanted more. Whereas Milan ran away and did not get anywhere near that fight. He's swearing up and down because his leg is hurting. He ain't trying to fight. Like, nigga, you was fighting 5-6 different people just 2 days ago. 2 days ago, really? I was about to say 2 weeks ago, but no, it was 2 days ago. Because y'all only filmed this show like 3-4 weeks. But then they get inside because the cops come. They hear the sirens. They see the sirens. They see the lights, and they all go inside. So it's funny too. This part was funny to me because everybody in the party done kind of calmed down, knowing everything that just went down. They like put on their best performance where they just sitting there trying to be calm. The police is like, is anybody hurt? Does anybody need the police? They're like, no, like we just in here chilling. So they ended up having the police go around and look around the house and whatnot. And I was like, where's Jonathan at and where is Rio at? Just to see if they even are alert to the fact that they need to be on their P's and Q's, but they were. And it's just funny because Milan then goes upstairs to talk to Jonathan. And Jonathan, like, you scary, like, you a punk. Like, you literally brought your friend up here to get his ass beat, and you ain't nowhere to be found. Milan is swearing up and down. He wasn't even trying to do anything. He ain't trying to do nothing. He just wants to talk and yada, yada, yada. He starts talking in higher tones, but not, like, as aggressively. But you can tell everybody in there is expecting him to try and do something, even though we know he ain't going to do nothing. Jonathan know he ain't going to do nothing. Security was getting irritated with him. He was getting irritated with security. But Milan tries to take Jonathan to the side away from the cameras and whatnot. And it's like, why are you trying to take him away from the cameras when you know they filming you? Like, you are the reason why these dudes just fought. And the funny thing too is Milan said he wasn't even gonna fight over the room. So what was the point of you bringing your friend to the house and bringing him upstairs to Jonathan while Jonathan was in the room putting his shit up? If you weren't gonna fight for the room, then why the fuck would you do that? Contradicting yourself. You just contradicting yourself and saying that because you don't want to get your ass beat now because you just watch your friend get his ass beat. But they ended up going, I guess, in the room to talk. So I don't know if we're gonna see it, but let's see now. Man, Milan is such a punk. Oh my God, this episode is exposing him. Man, so Jonathan ends up coming down because they all having the rest of the party. 12 left, and they just decided to just get lit again. So they all down there having fun with the strippers and whatnot. Jonathan goes down to pretty much tell Anthony everything that happens. He told him everything that happened with the whole fight and whatnot, yada, yada, yada. So we move on to the next day. This is where we get even more entertaining. The next day, this is what I said last week. Last week I said, I had my little theory that they only film X amount of time throughout a certain day, which is why they don't have content. This was just proven right here because they're showing a fight. Because Jonathan ends up pulling up, this is morning the next day. Jonathan pulls up, I guess Rio was outside. Well, I'm assuming this now that everything's been pieced together. Gutta had said that Jonathan, because Jonathan got sent to a hotel, I forgot to say that. He got sent to a hotel the night before. He wasn't happy about that either. But he got sent to a hotel, I guess because they just were scared that he might end up probably whooping Rio's ass in his sleep or whatnot. So they were like, just get him out of here and put him in a hotel. Jonathan comes back, but before he comes back, he calls Gutta just to make sure that there's no security there, just in case if he needs to do something, he got space and opportunity to do it without somebody trying to stop him. Gutta's like, yeah, we got security here. We got like one dude, the little Mexican dude, the little short one. So Jonathan's like, okay, bet. So Jonathan pulls up. Apparently, he pulls up with his friends, I guess. I don't know. But all we see on the video is Jonathan chasing after Rio with a chair. And this is the video that went viral on Twitter. But this is what I'm saying. Like, they're not filming all day. Because why was this not on the actual... You can tell it was a camera footage. It wasn't like the actual camera, like a phone footage. So they're showing Jonathan running around with that chair, just bop, bop, just bopping Rio. Just hard, too, and connecting every single one of them hits. Rio says he runs in the house and because his hands was leaking. Like, basically, Jonathan was tearing him up, and them hands was paying the price. But he gets inside, and then you got Milan's punk ass in there crying and acting, not crying, but just whining and acting a fool and whatnot, and just being dramatic, saying like he done popped him in the head and da-da-da-da, just doing too much. Milan got all this energy when Jonathan is not in his face. And then the thing is too, he said, well, if Jonathan pulled up when Rio was outside, he would have got in there and did something. Milan, you ain't gonna do nothing. You just said last night that you weren't gonna do nothing. Like, if your leg is so hurt, then if your leg was so hurt then, it's still hurt now. So you're not gonna do nothing. So he's sitting in there whining and going, and I guess he called the police. He didn't call the police. He called the fire department. So the fire department pulls up. He's outside talking to them, telling them every single thing that's going on, snitching and whatnot. And this is what I'm saying, like him being a punk. Like, everything he's doing goes against what he was preaching earlier in the season. Like, he swore up and down he was so tough. But the first thing you do is go call the cops. If you really want to get even with Jonathan, why don't you go out there and fight him? Like, why you got to go call the cops? I understand you want your boy to be helped and whatnot, but you calling the cops, You calling the fire department. You snitching on them, saying that we need to get the footage, the camera footage, so we can show them, just so they can arrest Jonathan. Is that what you're trying to do? Like, you brought your friend here to antagonize Jonathan. Your friend pressed Jonathan, which is the reason why Jonathan swung on him and gave him everything that he gave him. Like I said, if you swing on somebody, then that's a bet that you're taking with yourself. You don't know who you're swinging on, because they can take that from here to here and stay here for as long as they want to stay there. And that's something that you got to deal with, because you decided to swing on them first. So that's where I'm at with that. And it's just like, I don't know. The whole situation is stupid to me. But Jonathan leaves. Jonathan said he going back to Houston, go back to his salon. He done had all his fun. He said all these dudes here are not bad boys, and he is straight up with that. That is a fact. And he's gone, which is depressing and it's sad for us, because within 3 episodes now, Jonathan was what turned the show up. Like, the show, I feel like this is the most I've talked about this show in an episode review in a long time. And I think we're like 30, 40 minutes into the episode already. So, Jonathan's leaving. Rio ends up getting wheeled off in the fire department truck, so we're gonna see what's happening. I'm pretty sure they're probably gonna sit down with them and trying to tell them to cool it down, but we'll see. Alright, so Rio pulls off and Milan is outside having a whole bitch fit with the security, whining and whatnot, saying like this is dangerous, like he out here with weapons and whatnot. Call it what you want to call it, but a chair is not a weapon. Like, yeah, you can use it as a weapon, but it's not a weapon. Like, you just sound like a punk right now. You just mad because what you thought was gonna happen your way did not happen that way. And he then talks about and then another funny thing is, Milan is the type to, and I don't know if y'all have noticed it, but I've noticed it the entire season. I just haven't noted on it until now because it's just popping out more and more. Y'all notice that every time Milan is like in his confessionals, he's licking his lips because his lips is ashy. It's like, do you own any kind of like chapsticks or Carmex or whatnot? No. But that was just irritating me because every time he talked, because he was talking a lot in this scene, and they had basically sat there and zoomed in on him every single time. And I'm like, what? Get some chapstick, dude. You got all this money. Get you some chapstick. Like, man. But anyway, he's sitting there the whole time just bitching and moaning about like it's just dangerous and whatnot. And he's saying too how he noticed watching the fight because he ends up showing the police. The police sitting there and they basically sitting there watching. This is what I'm saying. Like, this nigga is a whole bitch. Like, this is some bitch nigga shit right here. What he's doing is like snitching, being a bona fide snitch. He's got the camera footage and he's showing the police the footage and whatnot. But he's saying as he sees it, he sees Jonathan's boys, it's like 3 of them, and then he sees Durrell and he sees Gutta outside. So he's trying to piece together, like, if they're outside when this happened, when there's no security here, they didn't know when Jonathan was pulling up, why they didn't go outside and pick him, why they didn't go back inside and get Milan to come out and help Rio with Jonathan's boys there. But if you look at the video, Jonathan's boys ain't even doing that. They just standing there. So it'd be one thing if they were out here trying to jump Rio, but no, like Rio, it was Rio and Jonathan. Like, what you gonna do? Come out here and try and jump, even though we know you're not gonna jump because you had the opportunity to jump last night. But he ends up getting pissed off and bitching about that, and then I guess he's mad at Durrell and Gutta, but we ain't got to that part yet. But he's bitching and having his whole bitch fit and moaning and whatnot, so that was just annoying to me to watch. But then the next scene that we got Gutta outside, we got Durrell, Anthony, and Kerrion. So they're outside pretty much discussing everything. They're like, damn, like this is some crazy ass shit. Like this is what's going on and it's wild. And Durrell and Gutta are very much like in the same mindset as me. Like, Jonathan handled his piece. Like, he did what he needed to do. And it's funny too because Anthony asked them, since y'all know what was going on and y'all saw everything, you go down there and basically, in a way, write a statement or voice what you know would happen. And Gutta is like, no. And Durrell's like, no, I don't talk to the police. Like, do I look like somebody that talks to the police? That's why I respect them. Like, you see something, whatever. Like, it is what it is. It's not my fight. It's not my business, so I'm not gonna go speak on it. Like, let them handle that. Like, this is a televised show. If anything, y'all should have the camera footage. If you want to be a snitch, if you want to be a snitch, you have the footage. But they didn't have security around, so that's their fault. That's a liability. If Rio wants to sue, he can sue them. But my thing is what Durrell said. If you, they basically was talking about Milan saying like, you can't be mad at what happened when you are the reason Rio was in that situation to begin with. You brought this man here. You thought you was gonna have the upper hand. That's not what happened. Your boy ended up getting his ass whooped. Then he ends up the next day getting his ass whooped by a chair to the point where his hand is fucked up, and now he's got to go to the hospital. And those bills, real, those hospital bills, I would be sending Milan a damn invoice. He would be paying for them hospital bills because he's the reason you came out there and got your ass beat. But they was basically saying that, and I'm like, yeah, that's a valid point. Like, that's exactly what I was saying the whole time. Why is Milan so pissed off about what happened and everything being so dangerous when you brought your boy here to do this? You are the reason he is injured. Like, can't be mad at nobody but yourself. So they basically just laughing about that and whatnot, and then they start talking about what they're doing, what they're gonna do when they get home and whatnot. So I guess we're nearing the end. And Kerrion was basically talking about it too. Like, he thought the two of them, Rio and Jonathan, were there to replace Will and Andrew Carwell. But now that they're gone, they're like, are we gonna get two new people, or are we just gonna ride this out until the end? We about to see. It's amazing how when Jonathan leaves, the show goes back being boring. Like, that preview for next week, terrible. Terrible. Nothing looked interesting at all about that. But, yeah, so at the end, we've got this scene of Curtis and Dylan just basically talking about the fight and whatnot. Probably the most staged-ish scene of all. Like, Curtis, I really like Curtis. Curtis is a cool dude. But Dylan, I can't stomach him. And then every time I see him on the show, it's just everything that he does just screams scripted. Like, he's doing too much. It's like he does too much with the black scene. And then it's like he's reading lines, and it's like he's saying certain things, and it's moving a certain way. It's like he's just doing what either is told to him or he thinks that he needs to do. But they have a conversation about that one night, and Dylan's claiming he's basically claiming that he didn't know there was a fight that went down. So where the fuck was you at, nigga? Like, if you don't know what was going on, where was you at? Where was you at? How did you not know what was going on? Everybody in the world knew what was going on before it even aired. Like, that's why I can't deal with him. But at the end, we get the guys, they all get together. It's nighttime. They all sitting down by this fire where Milan basically pops up and Rio pops up, random. And they sit them down and basically tell them that Rio's gonna be there with them for the rest of the show. Everybody else is like irritated, not too moved by it. Like, they're like, what's the point? Like, they're basically saying too, as they get down there, like, why is he even here? Like, what's the point? Like, we don't even know who he is. What is his affiliation with this? Why is he here? But that's what happened, and I guess, well, I don't know if they're gonna talk about what happened next week, but it's like they're trying to get a music video going. And then they go through the process of finishing that song. They audition. It looked like they were auditioning some dancers or whatnot. But that was it in that preview. That looks like the most boring shit in the world. And I don't know if I'm going to review it. I don't know if I'm going to review that episode if it's terrible. But we'll see. But yeah, that's the end of the episode. Like I said, Jonathan, you stole the show, man. You stole the show. I wish you was still on the show. But thank you for the past 3 episodes, because those were the best episodes of the season. I'm excited to see him at the reunion. I know he's probably gonna go. Hopefully he does. Speaking of like reunions and stuff, if y'all watched, if you've been here with me since Baddies ATL last year, crazy, I've been doing YouTube for a year now. That's crazy. It just literally just processed. It's been a year. Because I did it last year, and that's when it was airing last year. So wow, 1 year anniversary. But if you were there with me last year, you know I reviewed that. I'm gonna review the season 2 coming up. I've been following a little bit on social media. I've seen what was going on, and I think I know what the cast is. But if y'all saw that shit that happened with Sidney Starr last night, that shit was funny. Like, I'm not even gonna lie to you. Even if it's scripted, that shit is funny to me. That little fight where she got swung on and she ended up on the ground and all the vlogs picked it up and whatnot. So that's funny. I can't wait to see that whenever that happens. I will be reviewing that. So if you do want to still follow along and see what my reviews are and what my thoughts are on that, stay with me, because I'll be here reviewing that whenever that comes out. But yeah, that's the end of this episode. Thank y'all again so much for watching. As always, if you do get to the end of the review, thank you again. Drop a comment. Let me know what y'all think about this episode. It was definitely the best episode of the season, the craziest one. What y'all's thoughts are on a lot of things that happened. What's your thoughts on what I said, and what you thinking going towards the end of the season. And yeah, thumbs up the video. Please do that. Thumbs up the video. Drop those comments. Subscribe. We're on the way to 1,000. Subscribe if you have not already. Share it. Show a friend. And yeah, Follow me on social media. All that's down here too. And I will see y'all next week, maybe.